Some of Saints Row's craziest unlocks are only available to you after completing the main story. Want to play the game as a sentient trash can, or would you rather terrorize Santo Ileso as a swarm of angry bees? We'll tell you how to do that, as well as show you how to build your own skyscraper, dual wield weapons and more. If you're excited for that, then leaving a like on the video would really help the channel out, subscribe for more Saints Row content, and let's go! So we did discuss some crazy customization options from the Cutting Edge Venture in an earlier video, which we'll link to at the end of this one, but the craziest character skins are actually found in a shop that only opens up after finishing the main story. Keep playing the missions from your mission tab until you reach the mission The After Party. This will actually kick off a chain of quests you need to play in succession. The game will also ask you if you are sure you want to start before jumping into this mission chain, and by playing through all those missions you will eventually unlock the Everything Costs $1 Million store. To no one's surprise, the cosmetics for sale here are very expensive, starting out at $1 million and then going as far as $25 million for an item. If you need some tips for getting the cash together, we also covered that in the video I mentioned earlier. But yeah, all of the skins here are full body customization options, so they'll replace your entire character model for some absolutely crazy stuff. For instance, you can become a trash can. Running around as one with a revolver is absolutely hilarious, and like many of the other solid object skins that are available, performing the Death Blossom skill never fails to make me smile. If you want something even worse, you can also turn yourself into a toilet and play that way too. As you see here, it has a bit of clipping issues when you're on a vehicle, but I have to say even a toilet looks badass when doing a wheelie. In a similar fashion, playing as a cactus and hijacking a car looks hilarious, plus you can drive into the desert and blend in with the environment if you want. Or you can of course disguise yourself as a tumbleweed and blend in that way. If you want something a bit more animated, then there's also an entire group of cosmetics that turn you into a vortex of, well, something. You can turn yourself into a literal dust devil, but way more exciting is something like a swarm of killer bees. Now unfortunately, enemies don't really respond to the fact that there's an angry swarm of bees next to them, but it's still fun to mess up enemies as the bees wielding a machete. For something a bit more innocent, you can turn into a vortex of socks, and if you really want to show off, why not literally turn yourself into money? There's some more solid objects as well, like a fire barrel, a mailbox and a vending machine, but the most expensive of all of them is the astral projection, which for $25 million I don't really think is worth it. It turns you into this magical purple energy, but apart from that it doesn't really do much. I guess it looks kind of cool, but I'm honestly having way more fun playing as a trash can. One final thing to note is that unfortunately the materials you unlock with the Cutting Edge Venture don't work on any of these cosmetics. Not sure if that's a bug or intended, but I for one would love to play as a space trash can in the future.
And Dennis, I want to chime in here because when talking about the wacky over-the-top stuff, we got Lepin Box who reached out with the location for a bathtub car. You can find it over here on the map, so I flew to this abandoned place, got out, and there it was, the pretty cute bath vehicle with the shower head. And yeah, if you then take it to your home base or to JorRaptor, you save it so you can use it at any time, and you can of course then also upgrade it to make it look even crazier and to make it actually quite a nice vehicle. Yes, you can also put nitro on it.
Nice, that has to be the fastest bathtub I've ever seen. If you're by the way curious about that fancy looking plane you just saw Jordan use to get to the bathtub location, that is actually another unlock from the final mission. After completing it, you can just summon it from your helipad, and this VTOL is really good. For starters, you can switch from hover to flight mode and back by pressing circle or B, and while in flight mode you can perform barrel rolls by double tapping the shoulder buttons. But even more impressive is the firepower, as you have both homing rockets and a laser cannon at your disposal. The rockets home in on your cursor, so you can kind of steer them mid-air, and the laser needs a while to charge up, but it packs a really big punch. As you can see, using this vehicle to clear something like an Acha review mission to take out hordes of enemies almost feels like cheating, because it really is that powerful of a vehicle. If you're looking for some other ways to improve your firepower, then you should definitely have a look at your perks. If you've been playing the game for a bit, there's a high chance you've already unlocked some of them. You of course unlock perks by completing the challenges you find under the mission tab in your phone. And you really want to focus on this feature, as this is also the way you unlock the option to dual wield specific weapon types. The dual wield perk is the 20th perk you unlock, so you'll need to complete quite a lot of challenges to reach it. If you've never really paid attention to this menu, I recommend checking out the challenges you've already completed some objectives for. There's not really a right order to do these in, so just pick the ones that seem easiest to you and then work your way up to unlocking that dual wield perk. As soon as you have this main major perk unlocked and equipped, you will dual wield any type of pistol or SMG you pick up. No need to buy a second one, just equipping the perk means you always wield 2 pistols or 2 submachine guns. Unfortunately, you will always get a copy of the selected weapon, so you can't pair 2 different SMGs or pistols together. Doing this will of course increase your damage output as well as your ammo capacity, as you're effectively using 2 magazines instead of 1. You do burn through ammo a lot quicker, so that is something to keep in mind, but I'd say it's more than worth it for the improved damage. Plus, it really makes you look like a badass, especially with some of the weapon skins like the Star Gold blasters, which we talked about in our things to unlock early video, link to which you can find in the video description. Those are mostly for looks though, but the Marshall 6 guns with their homing bullets work really well here, although again, you burn through ammo rather quickly. However, the real stars of the show are the SMGs. Doesn't really matter which one you use, they're all pretty good, but dual wielding these is very powerful, especially if you upgrade your weapons too. And if you think you've reached the end of the game because you finished the story and built all the criminal ventures, there's actually one more thing for you to do. It will cost you a pretty penny, but then again, we are talking about your very own skyscraper here, so I'd say putting in the work to unlock this is very much worth it. In order to build it, you need to build all criminal ventures in the city as well as finish all story missions. After this, you are able to build the Saints Tower in your last available vacant lot in the Empire table for $8 million. Which again is a lot of money, but if you have all ventures unlocked and have eliminated all threats, you'll get there sooner than you might think. And then after building it, a cutscene will play which shows you and your friends celebrating, and after that you will unlock a couple of benefits. First of all, you now have access to your own skyscraper, which gives you access to weapon and crew customization and a helipad at the top. It also counts as its own criminal venture with no separate missions or objectives, but a base income of almost 1.3 million an hour, which can be raised even further by eliminating the threats in the area. And if you're worried this means you'll reach the limit of the cash app too quickly, don't worry, as building the Saints Tower also raises your Empire level to 5, which also increases the cap on your cash app to 10 million. You also unlock a lot of other things like cosmetic options and vehicles for your Saints, a custom Saints limo and an attack chopper for you to use, with especially the latter being really useful here. And a mid-air boost for your wingsuit. Pressing square or X while wingsuiting will boost you forward at high velocity, but if you're smart, you angle yourself up before using the boost. This will also give you more altitude, which means you can fly a lot further if you want to. Unfortunately, you can only use this boost once per flight. It resets once you hit the ground, but it's still a nice feature to make the wingsuit even more useful. And if you're looking for a spot to try this out, the top of that skyscraper we just built is perfect for that. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss our next Saints Row video, and leave a like on this one if you enjoyed it. If you found anything interesting, let us know in the comments below, and check out the rest of the Saints Row content we have up on the channel as well. Like this video, where we go over some of the mistakes you don't want to make. You can watch it by clicking on the screen. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.